So Wolf, I went on your TikTok
yeah?
and read some of the comments, and they're all just, "Is that your real voice? That sounds so good." And I'm just like, you can obviously tell it's not the bot voice, so who else would be speaking if not you?
Yeah, I got the new special bot just from TikTok. Only I can use it.
Like, the comments are either that, or it's people telling Wolf to get therapy.
I put out like all the fictional characters I simp for, and now people are roasting me for it.
Now they're telling you to go to therapy.
10K even.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
Jesus, I was waiting long enough.
I had to take the breath in.
Oh, please. My name is Luke. I'm one of your hosts, as always. And with me, I have the ignominious Wolf.
Wow!
I know, big word this week.
I'm on fire.
No, it doesn't. It means you are... It does, in fact, not mean that. It means you are, deserving of, public shame.
Ah!
That's fair.
No!
Which is very accurate to, the TikTok we just talked about.
So it seems.
Wolf, how's it going?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. Ready for episode 17?
Oh, definitely. I've got so much to say.
I bet. Unfortunately, no Rainy this week. Just us two.
What about a chopped liver?
Have you
Might
ever
as well
had
be.
liver?
Yeah. My gram used to make it liver and onions a lot.
Wow.
It's not good. I don't really care for it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Not an organ you see a lot on the shelves.
Rain, you're back. You're back with us.
Here I am. Ready to go.
Back from the mountain.
Always in the mountain.
Returned from your long trek.
Your banishment.
I banished
Hope
myself.
you've learned.
I did not. And I never will.
Send you away again.
You've been busy. You got a new place.
Yeah, I got a new place. We just moved, and then we also adopted 2 kittens like 3 days later. So we got a lot going on.
Doing everything.
Yeah, we got a lot.
I have to move next month.
Do it.
Leave the shithole.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, but by shithole, you mean your apartment, and I mean California.
No!
So.
You're not fully wrong.
I
you
moved to
know.
New Hampshire.
There's nothing
No,
there.
New Hampshire sucks.
Hang out with the real cool kids.
Wolf's right.
The
No,
real
the
cool
cool
kids
are all not in New
Are
Hampshire.
leaving it in droves.
Yeah, catch me out of here.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's get started. If you haven't watched last week's episode, I don't even know why they say this, because I know you have.
Exactly.
Obviously.
You're all caught up. I'm not even going to bother.
What kind of freak starts
Everybody's
on
caught
episode
up.
17?
That's right. Well, yeah, nobody listening here. They all started episode 1.
Only real fans.
So, I don't even need to recap that one. We're just going to move on.
Fair enough.
Because you've already seen
Yeah.
it. It would be a waste of our time and yours.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to be going into a word, kind of like a word dump, as we call them, about the recent RPGs, the role-playing games that have come out.
Da, 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 da. Keep going.
I was laughing. Am I not allowed to laugh?
Talk and laugh, freak.
I can't. And then we have another sponsorship, courtesy of our good Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess dictated and read by you, but not from
Oh,
me.
yeah. Searched hard for this one.
Yeah, they'll find out.
It's quite a deal.
Stay tuned for that. And then we'll be capping off the episode with a question from Rain.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's get right into it. I guess the RPG that we're going to be talking the most about, at least for a little bit, is Elder Scrolls Skyrim, right?
Yes.
And I guess the most pressing thing we should talk about is Wolf's never played it.
Well, I played it for an hour. I think the online version of it, I got it through a Humble Bundle.
So you literally just set up your character and put the controller down. That's what happened.
You would think, but
That's what happened.
I didn't really like the character creation, so I really rushed through it. I
will grant you, the character creation's not great.
I did like one mission. I was very confused. I tried to play with my friend, but apparently my version of Elder Scrolls couldn't play with her version of Elder Scrolls.
Oh my god.
And from then on, I had enough.
And then
I mean,
done.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you don't really like RPGs.
Yeah.
I feel like Elder
You're all about the
Scrolls
dating
isn't
scene.
a game that should be played online. I don't think it's ready for it.
I don't think it ever will be.
Probably
Knowing
not.
the game, knowing very little about it. That's the one thing I know.
I don't think Skyrim was ready to be played by a single player. Considering how many fucking bugs there are.
Exactly.
That's part of the fantasy.
Bugs and glitches and...
A fantasy.
Yeah, it's a feature, not a bug.
Classic Bethesda.
If they make it
Classic
too realistic,
Bethesda.
then people
Nothing
won't
can go
stop
wrong.
playing. You need the bugs so that it grounds the players.
It is amazingly the only thing I know about Bethesda. They have buggy
That they have
games.
bugs.
Bethesda, listen up! We're telling you what's wrong.
And that they keep releasing Skyrim.
They sure do. I was just gonna make a really dark joke, but I'm gonna leave that one there.
Well, say it. If it's too bad, we'll just cut it out.
Rainey says the Bethesda has to emulate real life, and so Lydia left me just like my dad did.
Perfect. Keep it in.
We'll see if I feel right about that one. It all makes sense now. I finally understand why Lydia left.
It's all become so clear.
Trauma really does come back
Thanks,
around.
Bethesda. Art imitates life, as they say. But yeah, I'm playing it for the technically the first time. When it first came out in 2012, Rainey actually owned it on her Xbox, and I played a little bit then, but not to any extensive amount. So, I figured 10 years later would be a great time to play the game.
Try it
Exactly.
out.
And it's been.
Didn't listen to me a
really fun so
decade
far.
ago. You didn't listen to me a year ago.
It's not that I
And look at
didn't
you
listen.
now.
Listen, I had other things going on.
Oh, like what?
Nothing but judgment.
He had to play
Things,
Magic the Gathering
stuff.
at Game Club.
Oh, roasting
I sure
them
did.
now.
I sure did. At least that one doesn't have bugs.
True. Well, what are your thoughts? Your first time playing through, like a real playthrough. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say 25, maybe 30 hours in. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. It's actually probably less. It's probably closer to 20 hours, but still. It's pretty fun. I like it a lot. Besides a few annoying glitches or bugs or whatever you want to call them, I haven't really experienced many problems. Most of the game has worked as intended. And it's been a lot of fun. The best parts are exploring the dungeons. That's hella
Yeah, that
fun.
one's fun.
Except the dwarf dungeons with the spheres. That fucking blows.
Yeah, they're rude.
You just die in two
They
hits.
just come out
like waiting
unannounced,
10
and they
years.
just show up and slice
They
you.
come out of the fucking
Yep.
walls.
Not
It's like
even a
waiting 10
chance.
years paid off.
Right now I'm focused mostly on magic and two-handed weapons
Two-handed.
with heavy armor. Yeah, well, only because the best weapons I found have been two-handed. Ideally, I think I would want one-handed just because they're a bit faster.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Choking over there.
And then, I know, I choked on my drink. So I'm gonna probably try and find or create a good two-handed or one-handed weapon
Mm-hmm.
and go from there. My armor's really good right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
My armor is mostly steel plate, and then it has a bunch of enchantments on it.
Nice.
I also found the Volsun.
Yep.
Some bloke, and he dropped his mask after I killed him.
Wow, what a bitch.
Yeah, so that one's pretty good. It gives you a bunch of other enchantments. And I look badass. I'm a dark elf.
Ah.
But I can't see my face half the time because I'm covered by all my armor. But I made the choice of picking Dark Elf, and then Rainy and a few of my other friends were like, oh good, that's the best choice anyway.
It really is. If
Wow.
you choose Nord, don't talk to me. I want you out of my life. Honestly. We're getting rid of toxic.
Oh, I guess you're not talking to Walker.
Toxic.
Oh dear.
Oh no!
Red flag.
He said Nord is tied for his favorite.
What a basic bitch.
However, he is also the progenitor of the quote, humans are interesting on their own. So, it makes sense.
How do you play a fantasy game where you literally get to create and choose a different race and you think, you know what? I'm going to go with the regular ass, like, human dude. You know, it's my
Normie
world.
shit.
I'm going to live in it. And I'm just going to continue being human the whole way through. Like, what?
Just some guy.
That makes no sense
I take
to
it
me.
you don't. I take it you don't pick play as a human in D&D.
No, absolutely not. No.
Walker did in our last campaign.
Well, I don't want to, Walker, if you're listening, I can't talk to you. I can't associate with you anymore until you park up.
I'm gonna send him this clip.
Just let him know.
I'm just calling
We'll
him
make
out.
sure he gets the memo.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, I just chose it because so when you pick your character, you go through it. They have a bunch of presets that you can choose from.
Yep.
And I chose it because the Dark Elf had the best preset.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, I chose it for that, and then I found out after I picked it that I should have been looking at all the racial bonuses that I give.
Yeah, there's real
Bonuses.
perks. Depending on what race you get a bunch
those
of
are
different kinds of perks. You
Pretty
know?
good. Turns out, I picked a good one for wanting to, focus on magic.
Yep.
So
All worked out.
it's good so far. I bought my own horse. That was awesome.
Wow, what's its name?
Haunts.
Wow.
I like it.
That is Haunts the horse.
Perfect.
Tragically, Haunts is dead.
Oh! No!
I went on the road, traveling, walking along, and some cunt bandits came through, killed my horse, and then I slaughtered them all. But unfortunately, my horse did not have the foresight to run away.
What
You
a
need to
shame.
hurry up
Those
and get the
thieves.
spectral horse, and then you won't have this problem.
Well, I did. I went ahead and bought a new horse. And this horse is Haunts 2,
Figured.
Electric Boogaloo. So, conveniently enough, it is the same exact model as the first horse.
It's
Wow.
like it was never gone.
I know, I bought it from the same place, so they just have that stock model.
It's destiny.
But she looks badass. She's big and a black stallion. It's cool.
Wow.
And I bought a house.
You can buy a house.
I bought a house in Whitehole. One of the early places. Rainy, help me.
No.
Rainy, you're supposed to be the pro.
I actually don't remember off the top of my head right now. I'm trying to think.
Whiterun.
Whiterun, there it is.
Whiterun.
Yep.
Poser.
I knew that.
I was confusing it with Winterhold, and I couldn't. I'm like, wait.
Well,
wait a
because
second.
I thought you settled down somewhere else. I was thinking of other places like Solitude or something like that, but I'm like, no, that's not what he's thinking.
Well, I wasn't gonna buy a house at all in Whiterun just because I figured it's basically the starting area, like the starting city, and I'm like, oh, that's not that exciting. I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But few other buddies told me, yeah, you can just continue to buy houses and settle down and do all that shit. So eventually I'll go somewhere else, somewhere cooler. But right now, Whiterun is like in the center of the map, which is really handy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
another cool thing, I'm in the middle of the Dawn Guard campaign,
That's a fun one. That's one of my
which
favorites.
is really fun. Yeah, very cool. I found Serana. She's a dummy vampire wolf.
Woo! Does she have fat milkies?
Oh, the fattest.
I love to hear it.
Yeah, and red eyes.
Oh.
And she's got a fuck me personality.
Checks all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I've tried, but I found out recently that you can't marry her.
No.
What? Why not?
I was devastated.
Sorry,
This
suckers, you
is
need a
racially
mom.
motivated.
You apparently can't marry vampires.
That
in the
shit's
base
not
version,
free.
Ridiculous.
which is absolute bullshit. So she's gonna be my side chick that nobody knows about. That the wife knows about but won't mention in front of the kid. And what else? Oh, yeah. Well, I mentioned it before that I had Lydia as a follower, as most people do, and she fucked off. She's literally nowhere to be found. She took a bunch of my... I gave her a bunch of my expensive shit because it was all the heaviest, and then I went to Riften, and she fucked off and has disappeared from my game.
Yeah.
Have you
made her
ever
so heavy she
checked
sunk into the
back
ground.
with the Jarl of Whiterun? Have you ever just gone back to where you first met her to see if she returned?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh my god.
She's not there. I go. Like I said, my house is in Whiterun, and up until last night, I didn't have potions place. I hadn't gotten any of the house upgrades, and so I kept having to go into the Jarl's place to use the arcane enchanter and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been back to the Jarl plenty of times, and she's not there. So she hasn't died. She's just somewhere glitched in the world.
What a shame.
And I can't wait to be like
Disgraceful.
level 52 and just run into her. And I am just awaiting the day that I can forcefully snap her neck
I am.
As
I
been
know.
by taking all my
Unfortunately,
good stuff and just running
My brain
off.
doesn't work sometimes, but I'm still a big fan of the
So
game.
right now I'm rocking with Serana, and it's been fun. And if it wasn't clear, Rainey
What was the
is a big Skyrim fan.
allegedly.
Your goal is basically to level up, kick ass, and
Yeah,
what's the
take
she's
everyone
the-
out.
Well,
But
I guess
for
Rainey
the
can-
one that Lucas is playing, Elder Scrolls V,
What's
what
the
he's
point of
doing is you're
Skyrim? What's your goal?
Dragonborn,
What are you doing?
and it's your goal to... It's very ominous in the beginning.
Probably should have
because at first
started
you
with
think your
that, but I
goal
figured
is
most
to
people would
kill
know.
off the dragons that are kind of like destroying Skyrim. At the
Oh.
same time, there are these side quests that are, bring the community of Skyrim back, the economy. There's civil wars happening. There's that kind of aspect. And then you have the side quests of the underground, brotherhoods and all that stuff, what's going on. So it's a lot. It really depends on what you like. And that's what determines your drive in the game, which is pretty cool.
I see.
Basically, Skyrim is the region that you're
Don't
in, Wolf,
you
and
ever-
Skyrim is fucked every which way from
Ever.
Sunday, and it's your job to figure out how you need to fix it.
I see. Interesting.
But it's just a classic RPG, do what you want,
It's like
explore.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's basically just Animal Crossing.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
You show up and it's your job to fix everything.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, it's like pretty much it. It's just basically just like Animal Crossing 2.0. So I'm sure I'm sure once I get further into the game and can say more things,
Oh my
we might have
God.
bring this topic up again and share more stuff. Oh, before that, actually, before we move on to the other RPGs, I'll tell you what the goal of Skyrim is.
Okay.
And it's to collect all the snowberries.
Whoa. What are those?
So, the snowberries, you can, there's, a ton of shit to collect, just, throughout the world.
Yeah.
You can collect all this food, armor, weapons, miscellaneous stuff for potion making. And one of them just throughout Skyrim, like in the snowy areas, in the like tundra biomes and shit. There's these bushes called snowberries.
This is why.
That are basically
listen.
big raspberry bushes.
First off, I'm trying to help you through the game. You
I've
have
made
questions.
I'm
more than happy to answer
my
your
resolve
questions
to
without
collect
giving
as
away
many as
too much of the
possible.
game.
And I made
this
Rainy
asshole
like
comes
freak
over
the
to
fuck
me,
out.
and he's like,
because
I'm not going
she
to do
kept
what
telling
you're
me to
telling
go-
me to do.
Your strange
Instead, I'm going to
addiction.
collect all the snowberries in Skyrim. And literally, I had to tell this dumbass that items respawn in nature. Snowberries will respawn. So you can clear an area of snowberries and then come back, and there's going to be more. You're never going to be done with the snowberries, so you might as well stop getting snowberries. Move on. I did.
Classic Lucas.
My response to that was, she's like, they respawn. And as she told me
So
that, I'm
mad.
playing the game. She called me. And as she said that, I'm like, oh yeah, one respawn just now.
I just want to say, so
And she's like, you're never going to catch them all. They're all going to respawn. And I'm like, that just sounds like more I can get.
Fair enough. And I mean, even if they respawn, you know where they all go. So you just collect them all
Exactly.
from all the places possible.
So when you get to a new location, your map, it gives you a little progress thing. It says map
And I just
updated,
wanna
and then it gives you the
say
location
that-
that you got.
Yeah.
I would rather it
No.
be you found a new snowberry bush, map updated.
And he was okay. So the problem
So
That way I
could
could fast
for you.
travel.
for people who
Yeah, I
have
could
played
fast travel to all the
Skyrim,
snowberry
Luke
bushes.
was outside of Winterhold. He was literally
Did they even do anything
outside the
useful?
College of Winterhold and refused to go in because he prioritized picking snowberries
What do you want to say, Raven?
over starting a great side quest with lots of treasure and fucking adventure, and he'd rather fucking go against sabers, die, have to respawn, collect the snowberries again, and repeat the process.
They were essential.
We didn't.
Oh yeah, I did do
Listen, the
I
call
did-
it's not
I did
going
die.
anywhere.
that. That's right. Not only was I in Winterhold, I was at the steps of the college, like waiting to go in. And I just, but the thing is though, there's a fuck ton of snowberries
At the
right
time,
at the base
I
of
think you
the
said you had 56.
of the steps to
They're
the college.
tempting you.
Exactly. There's too many to
Yeah.
get. I need them. So when she called me, Rainy, do you remember?
Easily, he probably
many I
has like
had then?
175 easily. How many do you? Oh my god, how many do you have?
Yeah, I had like in the 50s.
Lucas.
And this was like a couple days ago. How many do you think I have now?
200.
How do you have? 250?
So as of this morning,
Oh my god.
Rainy, you're too low.
Oh my god.
And Wolf, you're also too low.
Oh my god.
As of this morning, I had 237 snowberries.
I wasn't that off. But oh my god.
And
You're
the thing
an
is,
addict.
it's so unfortunate.
I
I'm not
can't.
going to be able to make any of the potions that need snowberries, because then I would have less snowberries.
You're not
I
even
got
gonna
my ass-
eat them.
I got my ass beat by a dragon because I wanted to collect snowberries instead.
You're ridiculous.
So I dropped to half health. Collected all the snowberries, healed to full, and then killed the dragon.
You're far past the point of acceptable.
And somehow I'm wondering how I'm always getting over encumbered in the game.
Shocking. Too many
All
fucking
my
berries.
snowberries.
Can't you just like
All my
store them somewhere?
snowberries.
Why do they have to be on you?
That's why I bought the house.
To store your snowberries?
That's right. I was tired of needing to drop other stuff. Because I'm not dropping those. I dropped probably like 1,000 gold worth of stuff.
Wow.
Just so I could keep my snowberries.
You're a hoarder.
It's not. It's why I'm playing the game.
So it seems.
Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Skyrim's great so far. A lot of fun. And the reason we're bringing this up is because we're going to be talking about the recent
no one said anything, so I thought I needed to fill the
RPGs
space.
that have come out in the last couple of years.
Wow.
Some even more recently. So let's get right on in it, shall we?
So.
Yeah. All right. The first. I know. I was waiting on one of you.
Wait on one of us to start your topic.
I was just saying, shall we go? And nobody said anything.
I didn't comprehend what you said.
Oh, well, all right. Moving on. The first one we're going to be talking about a little bit, and these are just mostly word dumps, give our thoughts about them, a little bit of opinion, a little bit of here and there, and some of them are more recent than others, but they're all within the last couple of years. So, started off, New World. I'm sure, either of you heard of that one?
Nope.
No? Oh, well. Okay, well, Rainey's better than Wolf. MMO RPG, if you're not familiar with that, it's massively multiplayer online role-playing game by Amazon Games' Orange County. It was released in late 2021 after getting several delays.
Oh, classic Amazon.
I know, right? Released for the PC. The thing I find it weird, it has a colonial aesthetic, which think, guns and swords and iron armor and cloth armor, just a lot like Skyrim. But it also has like anime magic. And it's not just like Skyrim magic where you have like destruction and conjuration and like classic D&D stuff. You have a ton of weird but anyways, it's about exploring and like you're basically colonizing this island region full of magic and mystery as they described it. And it's supposed to be free to play.
Ooh.
But classic Amazon, they slapped a $40 price tag on it.
Wow, changed their minds real quick.
And then they also decided, you know what, that's not enough. If you want, you could pay $50 for the deluxe version.
The deluxe version. What does it have?
Which, it's all in-game skins. So it just gave you some perks, some side quests, and some in-game outfits.
Taking notes from Overwatch, I see.
Loot Box Central. So yeah, it's just some additional content that people decided they wanted, I guess, or Amazon decided they wanted to sell.
I'm looking at the pictures, and it's so funny, because it really is just like fucking pilgrims, but magical.
I like to think
yeah, it really is.
Kind
it's
of like
even
an
more
off-brand
basic
game
than
of like
Skyrim,
Fable,
as we've been describing.
where Fable kind of like took Steam.
Because Skyrim is like
and
high,
magic,
is like
and
high
this is just
fantasy,
kind
I
of
would say.
I see.
But this one,
colonial
but New
magic.
World is literally like pilgrims with guns and magic.
Absolutely. I haven't played this game yet.
It's really
so,
weird. It's kind of funny.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, but Fable did it well. Fable has a great... Well, I'm not going to play it because
it's $40.
there are some big downfalls. There are game-breaking bugs such as gold duping and item duping.
Amazing.
Really?
The most
And if you're not familiar with that, it basically means you could copy any amount of gold as much as you want, and you can copy any item you find as much as you want.
Not a great thing for an in-game economy.
Exactly, and they have not fixed it.
Wow.
Yeah. At least from what I was reading, a lot of... they fixed some of it, but not all of it. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of the hype has died down from New World because this other game called Lost Ark came out today.
Wow.
At the time of recording, it came out. Actually, I think it technically came out last night. So, February 7th at midnight. But yeah, that is today. So, Lost Ark, it's an isometric MMO RPG, basically pretty similar to New World. It just adds the isometric to it. It's by Smilegate RPG and Tripod Studios and released on PC.
What is isometric?
It's the camera view that you're playing it. So you're playing top down, but at an angle, basically.
Continue.
Yeah, it came out today for us, but it was released in South Korea in 2019 for initial release testing. And apparently did pretty well. And obviously they had some stuff to fix, which is why it came out now. It's, once again, because, developers can't get away from this, it's exploring a magical world. Same old story as New World. However, it doesn't look nearly as pilgrimy.
Luckily.
This is much more Skyrim-esque, I would say. It's a bit more high fantasy.
Very anime looking.
Yeah, very, very anime looking. And the time... they are saying it has several unique classes.
Oh, such as?
I'll reveal these, and you tell me if you think these are unique.
Okay.
Warrior, a martial artist, a gunner, a mage, and an assassin.
I had never heard of any of those before.
I wish you could see Rainey's camera, because she's just slumped in her chair drooling.
No one. Warrior.
So, how do you guys feel about those unique classes?
Do they? I'll give them benefit of the doubt.
I feel like
are they
martial artists
implemented uniquely?
Would be pretty similar, wouldn't
the gunner is the only one that's
like what would make them different?
Had any sort of uniqueness.
Amazing. They just lived in a hole for the last 40 years. Haven't ever heard of an RPG. Nah.
Well, if you're...
Assassins are sneaky.
Right. And martial art... Okay. So warrior is someone who uses weapons most of the time. Martial weapons. So hammers, axes, swords.
Okay.
Assassin, like Wolf said, would be pretty sneaky and try to backstab, use traps and stuff like that. And then martial artist is hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
So it's more similar to the warrior. Think warrior, but without martial weapons. And then gunner, if you're familiar with the D&D artificer, it's basically that. Make contraptions. In this game, it's you make weapons and turrets and stuff. From what I was seeing,
Ooh.
Again, it just came out, so this could obviously be changed or whatever. Mage is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You're, a spellcaster. So I don't really know where they got the several unique classes from. But, they did look cool, the classes. The pictures and the descriptions.
Maybe it
didn't look bad.
Maybe it was a mistranslation.
Yeah, perhaps. Boon to this one is that it is free to play.
Ooh.
So you don't need to buy it what was it? New World.
So how does the game make profit?
From Amazon, and you don't need to pay a subscription fee like World of Warcraft.
Okay.
It's very
okay.
Similar to Diablo, if you're familiar with that.
Only the aesthetics.
At least that's the vibe. Yeah, at least that's what I got out of it.
Probably in-game purchases, right?
Yeah, they have an in-game stuff that you can buy.
Oh, okay.
Which, of course, you can. This game alone, it's free to play just to start up, but you can buy in-game stuff. They also had something called a Founders Pack.
Ooh.
Which was basically their pre-order version.
Oh.
If you bought it, if you were downloading the game early, so early access, and wanted some in-game stuff, you could pay, I don't know how much money it was, but it was a small amount of money, and you get basically what Amazon called their deluxe. You get some skins, you get some quests, you get stuff like. So that's how you make money without. Yeah, classic.
Basically everything purchases. Overwatch did, but they also charged for the game.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
sorry to go off topic, but also they did like the Founders Pack where you get all these special unique skins for buying that special version, and no one else could have those skins. And now in this year of 2022, you can buy those skins.
Fortnite did the same thing.
Amazing.
That's tragic. Damn, if only they, stuck to what they were promising their customers.
Yeah, I can't. Too much expectation.
So the next couple, so these are like pretty standard MMO RPGs, mostly for PC, and pretty classic to what you would expect out of an RPG. These next two, I'm pretty excited for, actually. A lot more than the other, a lot more than the first two. If you played Lost Ark or are currently playing Lost Ark, definitely let us know how it is.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Obviously, if it's a good free-to-play game, I'm always about having more of those. So, if you like it, let us know. Tweet at us. Let us know in the comments. Tell us what you think. But, the next one is called Avowed.
Ooh.
It is by Obsidian Entertainment, which we like them. They did Outer Worlds, if you're familiar with that game.
I've heard of that one.
So it's basically how they described it was Skyrim plus the Outer Worlds.
Oh.
And it's for Xbox console only.
Wow.
It's not as of right now, it's not going to be on any other platform, but that could obviously change.
Yeah.
It's focused in their own world of the Pillars of Eternity, which is another Obsidian Entertainment game. That one was a top-down RPG, really similar to Diablo. It's basically a rip-off of Diablo. However, this one is first-person, just like Skyrim, for the most part. They're going to be focusing on multi-classes and two-handed combat, akin to Skyrim. So, if you're not familiar with that, each of your hands can do different things, essentially, in combat. So you can have a spell in one hand and a different spell in another hand, and use both simultaneously. You could have a one-handed weapon and a spell, and combinations are, well, not endless, but,
a level of coordination I could never hope to achieve in real life.
I know, right? Imagine, channeling, a spell in one hand and, beating ass with a hand axe.
I accidentally switch hands. You're gonna punch a magic to the face.
So I'm interested how they're gonna make this different than Skyrim, because they kind of have to.
Less
I feel
buggy.
like. Well, that's assuredly true. I would be hard pressed to top the bugs that Skyrim has. But even still, I think they need to do some. Oh, I didn't say, but it's set to release in late of this year or early next year.
Explains the lack of pictures.
Yeah, late 2022, early 2023. Yeah, there's not much info. This is the least info I have on any of the games. But I'm pretty excited for it. I mean, I'm enjoying Skyrim, and I wouldn't mind if a studio like Obsidian, who I think makes pretty good games, comes out with their own version.
Nice. Neato. I'll never touch it, but...
it's good. Yeah, well, we've established that RPGs aren't your thing. But it's pretty cool. This one has a lot more hype to it than anything so far. This one's called Elden Ring.
Ooh.
It's an RPG, which is action RPG, by From Software, which is a terrible name. I'm going to go ahead and tell them right now.
Mr. From.
Yeah, that is a shit studio name, but it's From Software. It's set to release this year, February 25th, on PS4, PS5, next-gen Xbox consoles, and PC.
Wow.
So, most platforms that you play. It's directed, and I only say this because
super
the latter
cool.
half is more important.
Super
It's
cool.
directed by Hidetaki Miyazaki.
You should definitely
and George R. R.
look up
Martin, who wrote the Game of Thrones novels, wrote all the lore and the backstory for the world that this is set in.
Wow.
And that's really cool.
I don't know who those people are.
Well, I'm not super familiar.
What else does he do?
Yeah.
Or has he done?
Wasn't he, I believe he was a director for Dark Souls.
Ooh.
And if that's wrong, don't roast me because I'm not positive. But I feel like it's true. Anyways, I know he is a popular and famous RPG designer.
I see.
Which Dark Souls is, so. Anyways, but yeah, George R. R. Martin wrote the Game of Thrones novels and was really popular a few years ago when HBO had their TV show. But, so yeah, that's really cool that a fantasy novel is getting into game design a little bit.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
I'm looking at the pictures, and the monsters look very spooky and sexy.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. But I'm glad you noticed. I think they're pretty cool, too. So the game, this is something that I hate. The game was teased in 2017 and in 2018. Then a trailer was revealed at E3 in 2019. There was barely any information about it in 2020. We finally got an update in 2021. And now we actually know a pretty good amount of it now that it's 2022 and it's soon to be releasing.
I see. They really got ahead of themselves. 2017.
Yeah, game studios really need to get a better handle on when to tease their things.
Yeah.
They try to build up the hype way too quickly. Something that was recently talked about with one of the most recent Pokemon games.
Yeah.
That we got like teasers of recent Pokemon or Pokemon that were coming out in that gen like a year and a half early.
Wow.
And now it's just like, well, we want the rest of them. When can we hear about it? And it's like Nintendo just smiles. It's like, soon.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
surely they
so
have other Pokemon design that they could, like, filter out over the year.
Absolutely. It's just like, if your game isn't even set to come out anytime soon, why are you trying to build the hype now? Because it's just going to be a detriment.
Yeah. You get the hype, and then what else? You think it's going to sustain itself?
No chance. Anyways, so yeah, we finally got an update in 2021, and now we actually know a decent amount about it now that it's soon to come out. It's been described as a very pretty Souls game, in quotes.
Ooh.
And that's just Dark Souls for those not aware. Like Wolf said, the monsters are very spooky, apparently very sexy. They look really cool.
Get it.
The designs look really cool. The atmosphere of the game looks really cool.
He cute.
Very spooky, very tense and dusk-like.
Tell me that's not sexy.
I'm not saying it's... I thought you just meant the dusk part, but I'm not saying it's not. Kind of bugged eyes, but you know. She vibing. Yeah, so what we do know about it, a pretty large map divided into 6 subsections that has a general flow of order of exploration. However, just like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, however, you can explore them in any way you want to. There's nothing preventing you from going off the beaten path, as it were, which is really nice. As anyone who enjoys playing games, being stuck into one channel of decision making is pretty boring.
Yeah.
We also know.
Try.
Oh, one thing that's really interesting is that this is actually a co-op game.
Oh.
It's up to 4 players that you can all play together, which is really cool. Something that I think Skyrim should do or could do in their next one.
I couldn't handle it.
And, I know, right? Well, yeah. Maybe now that they're owned by Microsoft, they'll be able to handle it.
Whip them into shape.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sorry. co-op machine broke. Yeah. So, and we also know that there's something they were calling raiding, which basically means your party of 4 could go fuck up somebody else's parties of 4.
Wow.
Or just friend groups. It could be a party of 4 fucks up a party of 2.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, it's like those online Minecraft survival games all over again.
Very kind.
One great thing that they definitely they pointed out and were made sure to be clear, if you're playing solo, you cannot be raided. Which is
fair enough.
Very excellent. Yeah, that seems fair. That seems like a fair how kind of you. What's not kind, however, is that Hidetaka Miyazaki decided that there's going to be an extensive amount of poison swamps because, quote, I just couldn't help myself.
Love it.
This motherfucker is just... in one of the interviews, he said he rediscovered his loves of King. I just got it. It just hit me. He said in his interview he rediscovered his love of poison swamps.
Implying he had one before. A childhood joy.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, because he's put them in other games.
Yeah.
So, but now he's just like, yeah, let's fucking put them all in there.
They're
no
also
one
a
can
lot
stop him.
more developed.
Yeah, so that's the broad strokes of Elden Ring. I'm pretty excited for this one.
Wise.
It looks really cool. I think the last two are much more my speed. Avowed and Elden Ring. I don't really enjoy the hard grind that regular RPG, or like MMO RPGs give you. I feel like, and that was a criticism with New World, and probably will be with Lost Ark, and Path of Exile, if you're familiar with that one. It just has a lot of grinding. Like, you need to redo over and over a lot of stuff just to get where you want to go.
Whack.
And get leveled up and get gold and resources and all that stuff, and which is why I prefer the more single player RPG style. I think that's a lot more fun. You play at your own pace.
Barely.
There's a lot less grinding, stuff like that. So I'm excited for Avowed and Elden Ring. We'll see how those turn out. Lastly, there's really no information about this. It's Elder Scrolls 6. We finally get some announcement about it.
Wow.
I know. Another problem is that they announced this in 2018.
Oh man.
And last week of this recording, last week we got an announcement that's saying it's still in pre-production.
I can't wait.
You make
for
5 video games and you still don't know how long it takes to make a video game.
They said they were making this fucking game in 2018, and in 2022,
put it all in a game.
In pre-production.
I wonder what happened.
Make a game out of that.
Which?
Oh yeah.
And it's a buggy piece of mess.
They should just hire all the people that make mods for Elder Scrolls 5.
True.
Well, no, not even just the mods, but the people that make them. Just hire the people that make. There was something, not to get off topic, but there was someone who made a mod for Pokemon, and Pokemon hired them.
Really?
Yeah, because they did so well on the fan-made game. Which is funny because Pokemon has a history of taking down and slashing fan-made games.
Fucking slitting their throats for even having the nerve.
Like, if anyone says, like, I'm making a fan-made Pokemon game, Nintendo's picks up the bat with nails in it and starts going for the throat. Yeah. So, I thought it was really cool. Anyways, we don't really know, we don't really know anything about Elder Scrolls 6 other than it's in pre-production still. If you're not familiar with that,
their trailer,
what exactly pre-production is, basically it's not a playable game. They're still designing assets for the game. They're still designing balance. They're still designing story.
It's true.
Basically conceptual, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So,
it's nothing.
I mean,
it's
obviously,
fuck all.
they probably
it's
have
30 seconds of going
They've got
across a
some
field.
environment generated.
What does that tell us?
I mean, it's not hard.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's not hard to make a pretty trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't deserve.
I just wish they gave us
sort of
more. If they were going to
commendation,
give us a trailer in
but
2018, 4 years ago, we deserve to have more.
They probably stole it from the last game.
Probably.
We're gonna get into the new game,
Yeah.
and that shit's the stuff in the trailer, not even in the game. It means they probably didn't even have the story planned out when they made that announcement.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, one thing I didn't... Which one was it? One thing I didn't mention that I think is highly relevant was... Oh, I think it was for Lost Ark.
Ooh, quick research.
Oh, yeah, okay, it was Lost Ark. Lost Ark, the game that came out today in 2022, is played in Unreal Engine 3. which, if you're not familiar, we are currently on Unreal Engine 5.
What a decision.
And working towards 6.
Run it!
And I have no earthly idea why they chose to do 3.
Yeah, they probably got like a pirated version of 3, and they were like, well, why upgrade? They didn't want to pay for that. Number 5.
Yeah.
Right. And this isn't really like a huge criticism, because I think Lost Ark looks pretty good. Like, aesthetically, it looks cool. But I just, why would you pick at this point, like, mostly outdated program for your software to be based in? Anyways, I just thought that was interesting, and it also, people writing articles also thought that would be good to point out, which I think is a fair criticism.
Yeah. You'd think they just, like, make that version not work anymore on anything.
Oh yeah, like Microsoft is doing with all their online games. Anyways, that's a recent dump of the MMO RPGs, ARPGs, RPGs in general that are coming out or have came out in the last couple of years. Let us know your favorite if we missed any. We mentioned a couple other ones, but these are the ones, to talk about most recently.
Yeah.
Let us know how Lost Ark is if you're playing that one. That's the free-to-play one. Let us know your thoughts for Avowed, Elden Ring. What are you hoping for? What do you want? And I think that about wraps it up.
Whoa.
Wolf, I hear you've got something for us.
I do. I've got a sponsor after all this time. This episode,
another one.
This episode of You're Ridiculous is sponsored by Mort VBM. Have you ever wanted to make sure everyone knew exactly where you were at all times? Full access to your internet search history, the sites you've been to, and even the thoughts crossing your mind? To keep you accountable. Well, wait no longer. Mort VBM is the answer to your calls. That's right, they heard them. No one wants to be alone with their thoughts, and he requires your knowledge.
Thank you.
Enjoy instant access to the hive mind, every thought you could ever imagine, and there is absolutely no downside. Start your free trial month now. No need to look at any links in the description. It's already starting. Thank you to Mort VBM for sponsoring this episode of You're Ridiculous.
Thanks, Mort VBM. How kind of you to sponsor this. You basically read an ad read for Google, did you not?
That's their secret.
Oh no,
secret
we're gonna
pseudonym.
get shut down. Oh no, they're gonna take us off.
They don't like it. They don't like that.
I do. This week,
Thank
the
you
question
to
is,
Mort VBM.
what is your least favorite video game mechanic?
That was excellent. And now, to wrap up our RPG, MMO RPG episode, Rainey, you have a question
Wolf,
for us.
why don't you start us off?
Deliver it to our ears.
I've been waiting for this.
Oh, man.
Mine is topical, but I want you guys to go first.
Okay, I'll go. I have two, but my first one is permadeath. It is a game mechanic that unleashes just the max level of rage capable within my body. I play permadeath games because they're always fun, but then it happens and I am out of this fucking world.
The vibe is off.
I'm livid for days about it. I won't touch the game. I won't even look at it. Very upsetting.
Well, that's funny because oxygen unaccused is permadeath.
Technically, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like if you fuck up, you're irreversibly fucked.
At least it's on my terms. I get to go press the button and go, new game.
That's true. Oh, you would, I mentioned this one earlier, but Path of Exile, an RPG, is permadeath.
Like, how do you make decisions
checking all the boxes of do not play
while
this.
playing that?
Yeah, it's one of the few, it's the only RPG that I know of that is an RPG and is permadeath. If you die, your character is dead.
I feel like that is especially just a punch in the fucking face for an RPG.
That's a finger on...
Exactly.
That's a finger up the ass if I've ever heard it. I don't know. I have a few friends that have gotten pretty into it, but and they tried to convince me, it's fun. Like, that does not sound fun.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to do anything.
That sounds like I'm gonna, like, buy a home and sit in it and eat my snowberries. I'm gonna count my snowberries. The only thing I need.
Rainy, what's yours?
All right, so no, you have a second one.
Oh, okay. I'll do it. My second one is required grinding. Not a fan.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate having a chore to do in a video game. Why would you put me in an area, intentionally force me into an area that I cannot do anything for? Then I have to go do bullshit to be prepared for the area, and it takes even longer because everything there is stronger than me. So I can't even grind quickly. So I don't like it. Even if I can grind quickly, I don't like it. It's a chore. I don't want to do chores while playing games.
I mentioned this before. That was my main criticism of Assassin's Creed Unity, where you had to be a certain level to access an area.
Ridiculous. Bullshit.
And I'm like, how about you go fuck yourself? Just let them kill me if I'm too low level.
Yeah, let me experience it. Way back when, there was some version of the Kingdom Hearts game. I forget which one. It's like a side story with Aqua and Xanath.
Oh no!
But then you get to fucking Peter Pan land, and apparently I was not a high enough level to beat the boss. So I was just trapped on this fucking island because you couldn't leave the island. So I had to quit the game. Didn't go far past that part.
Tragic.
Why would you allow me to go there? Just to fail.
I like both of yours. I agree. I don't like either of those. Horse grinding and
mine is for
permadeath.
RPGs, like a fixed
permadeath. I'm less of a
like there's some games
but
where I enjoy having that first person view, and then there are other games where I want the third person view. But I prefer to be able to flip back and forth depending on what area I'm in. And I experience this with Skyrim a lot. I'm glad that you're able to switch back and forth, because sometimes you're in an open area in the field. I'm going to use third person. I'm going to see everything. But once you're in a dungeon, like, those corridors are fucking tight and you need to change that view. So I hate when games don't give you that option. Mm-hmm. So, that's mine. Exactly.
Cora Dussy.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like, I'm you touched on everything. Like, when you're running, you want to be able to see a wider range. If you're in the open, you want to be able to see more than your fixed, eyesight, peripheral, and everything.
Same.
And yeah, absolutely. When you're in the dungeon, or just like in any building, you want to be able to see a more zoomed in, tighter frame. So yeah, I will say I mostly use the first person. However, I have definitely switched cameras and have been very happy that I have the ability to do. So yeah, I like that one. Everybody's got good ones, but I have the best one.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you right now the absolutely worst in video games ever to exist and will ever exist, because it's just wretchedly terrible.
Oh.
Are horse physics, okay? Horses in any game ever are absolute dog shit. You tell them to go one way, and they spin around a 360 and don't know where the fuck they're going. You tell them to follow the road, because in most recently Assassin's Creed did that. You could just hit a button and it would follow the road to your destination. It fucks off and goes the other way. It takes the longest route possible. You know, if you could travel, you know, as the crow flies, or I could take this road that goes all over the place and takes twice as long. Or you tell the horse to stay here, and it's fucking sniffing up your ass, following you all the way to hell. Their horses in every single game are the worst.
Exactly. I hear they're pretty good in Red Dead Redemption.
I have heard that Red Dead Redemption has fixed them a little bit. However, I refuse to believe that they are an asset more than a hindrance. They're god-awful.
Anti-horse squad.
They're god-awful in Breath of the Wild. You cannot turn fast at all. If you tell it to run, it runs for 5 seconds and then trots its ass along.
Gets tired.
If you try to fight somebody, your camera angle is fucked. If you try to do anything, it's terrible. You also can't call the horse in most
That's
games.
why you need the spectral
Because for
horse.
some reason
you
it
can
can't
just bust
hear
them
you.
right out when you need them.
In Breath of the Wild specifically. You can in the
Well,
South.
hurry up!
You can't call it in Skyrim, but it will
Probably.
magically teleport to you if you fast travel.
Yep.
I haven't gotten there.
Yeah, hasn't earned it yet.
I haven't gotten it. I'm still gonna say it's terrible.
The video game industry isn't ready for horses.
And Skyrim horses, I can scale a fucking
Peak broken.
flat surface like a ghost. Okay, I can glitch up a mountain that is unable to walk. There's no consistency with horse mechanics in video games, and I think they should just quit. They should quit while they're behind.
Fair enough.
They should
handle
quit
the
while they're
horse.
behind. They can't. No game has done it justice. I have heard, Wolf is right, I have heard that Red Dead Redemption is probably the closest to having a good horse mechanic, but it's terrible. I've been sitting on this question for so long, and horses in video games tilt me off the earth. They're always terrible. Actually, the horse in Stardew Valley is good.
Oh, yeah. Keeps it simple.
But because that's a 2D game, so that doesn't count. Horses in 3D games, absolute dog shit.
Fair enough.
And I will not be
Not
taking
yet.
questions. If you think you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong. And I will
Absolutely.
be prepared to argue about this on Twitter.
Oh.
Like everything.
Always raring to go.
Nobody's taking the bait. Anyways, we're slightly over time, but we had to share everything.
Yeah. Couldn't let those horses get
skip it.
away.
Yeah. Wolf, why don't you take us away?
Alright, I'm Wolfie taking us away. Thank you for watching episode 17 of You're Ridiculous. You can
Woo-woo!
follow our socials at ridiculous_cast on both Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow Lucas on his personal Twitter as under 7 Angry Wasps, spelled with an E. You can follow me at Rainbow Does with no W. And you can check out Rainy's website, rainymaydesigns.com. All those links will be down in the description below. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.